Welcome to the Words to Empower podcast, featuring Bishop Frank Stewart, pastor of the Acts Ministry in Conway and North Little Rock, and now Pastor Stewart.
Welcome back to your Acts Ministry podcast, and I hope you're enjoying the study in the book of Ezekiel chapter 37 as much as I am enjoying this, and just to have God to download into us revelation concerning verses and chapters that we've known basically our whole lives, that we've preached, that are famous in scriptures, but to show us something. And on yesterday, I stopped at really verse number 4, where God told Ezekiel to speak to the dry bones. And we start talking about the power of our words, and not just the power of our words, but believing what God has said will happen. And we must understand that. Now, I kind of got a little bit into Ezekiel's personality, and I love to talk about that his personality was different from Daniel or from Isaiah or Jeremiah. See, God doesn't clone people, and the way he deals with us in truth, always in love, but he doesn't deal with us the same way. We have to get that. Just like any parent doesn't blanketly or just have a blanket way of dealing with every child. They know the child. They know what is going to be best for the child and how to get the message through. God knows that too. He's dealing with Ezekiel, and he knows how to deal with Ezekiel. And I say that because God knows how to deal with us as individuals, as people. He knows how to deal with us, and he just doesn't deal with us all the same, it's the same way. What he says to one, the truth that he says to one, he's going to say the same truth to somebody else, but just how that truth is going to be served and prepared will be different, because he recognized that we are different and we are his children. So Ezekiel is different from the other three, what we call major prophets. He tells Ezekiel in verse 4, and let me read verse 4 for you. Again he said to me, prophesy to these bones, and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God to these bones, surely I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. So God tells Ezekiel, I need you to preach to their bones. I need you to preach to them, and I need you to tell them their future. Tell them what is getting ready to happen to them. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that wonderful? That not only tell them where they are, but tell them what is getting ready to happen. That's why he says they dry, old dry bones. He didn't say old bones who think you're dry. He didn't say that. God deals with reality. Some people, they don't deal with reality. They don't deal with the reality. God can't heal you from cancer unless you understand that you have it. Else there's no deliverance. There's no testimony. When God delivers us from something, to deny is to deny it also denies deliverance. I want you to get that. So God says, speak to them, speak to the situation. You know how desperate it is, oh dry bones. This is a desperate situation. I want you to speak to these dry bones, and I want you to understand that even though they dry, you tell them that they're going to live. Thus said the Lord God. Isn't that something? God said. God said. And when God says something, brothers and sisters, we can rest assured it's got to happen. There's no if, and, buts around that. If God declares it, it is going to happen. No matter what we think about it, no matter what we say about it, it is going to happen. So he says, speak to these bones, Ezekiel. Talk to them. Tell them what God said. Now that is confession. This is picture perfect what confession is. It's to speak to it. Tell it what God says. Tell sickness what God said. Tell sickness that God says, by his stripes I am healed. Jesus took my sickness and my infirmity or infirmities. He took that. Took it.
Stay tuned for more of Frank Stewart. And now for some special announcements.
Thanks for partnering with the Acts Ministries. We value your service and your donations. That's why we've made it easy to make contributions to support our ministry. Simply go to your web browser and click the search bar and type in actsministriesonline.org. Then click Donate Online. It's really that easy. For mobile giving, text the amount you wish to donate to 501-302-4242. That's Simple Give.
And now, more of Pastor Frank Stewart.
Tell those dry bones that they are going to live. They're going to live. Now, let me insert this. It's probably easier to speak to bones than it is to people, because people have a will. They have a will, and they have a will, and they have unbelief. And when you preach to them, it's got to be filtered through all of this. Right now, these inanimated objects, these bones here in the picture God is showing him, it's just dry bones. And he told him to speak to him. And he said, now I'm going to tell you what's getting ready to happen to you. Getting ready to tell you what's going to happen. I am getting ready to drastically change everything about you. Everything. What you see in the mirror now is getting ready to drastically change. Everything. You're getting ready to become something totally different, something new. Matter of fact, your bones are not going to be seen. I'm getting ready to cover that up. I'm getting ready to cover that and protect you. I'm getting ready to bring life into your life. And he says to him, talk to him. Now watch this. God told Ezekiel what to do. Surely I will cause breath to enter into you. Now, the important thing is that Ezekiel believed it. Ezekiel believed it. He believed it. And I believe that the reason why confession sometimes is not done consistently by us is that, do we really believe what God has told us to say? And that is to say what he says. Don't say what you think. Don't say what you fear. Many times we say what we fear. We speak what we fear. That what I have feared the most have come upon me. Those are the words of Job. What I feared the most. So many times we speak in our fears, and brothers and sisters, let me tell you, when you confess your fears, expect them to come to pass. Because it is the same principle. You are prophesying and saying fear is coming in. You saying those fears I have, they're going to come to pass. So if he'd have prophesied to these dry bones and begin to tell them that they're going to never have flesh on them, they're never going to live again, they're never going to amount to anything. If he'd start doing that, then there would have been no resurrection in this valley. But God tells him now, first I want to tell you, now watch this, verse 5. I'm going to put breath in you. Verse 6, I will put sinew on you and bring flesh upon you, cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live. then you shall know that I am the Lord. See, he lays it out for him. He lays it out. First thing, he tells them the end first. First thing going to happen, you're going to start breathing again. First thing that's going to happen, I'm going to resurrect you. Then he goes into the process of it, because it's going to be a process. It's going to be a process. The first is going to be the sinew, it's going to be the muscles and so forth, and then it's going to be the flesh, and then I'm going to cover you with skin. So what's happened? I'm going to develop. I'm going to put your skeleton frame in place. I am going to put your muscles there. I am going to give you your major, and that's the flesh. I'm going to give you your major organs. I'm going to give you a heart. I'm going to give you a liver. I'm going to give you kidneys. I'm going to give you pancreas. I'm going to give you gallbladder. I'm going to give you all of this stuff first. And then I'm going to cover that with skin. That is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable, because this is something that only God can do. It's a God thing. Now, believing in God doesn't mean that we do it. It means we believe that God can do it. It doesn't mean that we're taking any power or any credit on our own selves. It just says that we believe we have a Father in heaven that can do this. This is a light thing for him. Yeah, it's a light thing. His strength has never been tested. God has never sweated or strained at doing anything. He's an omnipotent God. Understand that. And when I say that, I have to preface that as far as his strength. Now, the one thing God struggles with, and the only thing he's ever struggled with, is us. He didn't struggle creating the world. He didn't struggle with none of that. But because he loves us so much, he struggles with us. And Jesus gave his life. And thank God for that. Thank God for his love and his patience that he puts up with us. And he stays there to get us right. So here, this unbelievable scene takes place right in front of Ezekiel. Can you imagine that? Man, what a lesson in physiology. What a lesson in biology. What a lesson to see the human body being put together right in front of Ezekiel. But I want you to notice now, he tells him the end is you're going to be breathing. But then in verse 6, he starts with the process. And brothers and sisters, some of us are trying to do things, but what we need to do what God has commanded us to do, he needs to put the sinew on it. He needs to give the muscles to it. He needs to give the organs to it. He needs to cover it with skin first before you can move, and then breathe in it, then move. Then move. And this is important. This is very important, because I believe that we've tried to move and the skin hadn't been on it. And what you have is a deformity. What you have is the organs not being covered outside of the body, which make them susceptible to diseases and destruction. And it wasn't that God didn't say it, is that we left before the process was over. There's a process. Yeah, God said, this is your end. That's why it's dangerous to see a vision before it's complete. It's dangerous. If you've ever created anything, you've learned that wait till you get through with it to let people see it. Because if they see it before you finish with it, then you might not finish with it, because the negativity. Now, just think about this. Think about this. Just think about this. And I'm not trying to gross you out, but just think about if you would saw the bones with just the muscles on it, or just all the organs connected to a skeleton. That wouldn't have increased our faith. That would have did something. We would think that it is a monster. We would think that what is God doing? And that's why when we start talking about a vision, it's not given to everybody, because everybody can't see the vision before it's complete. I'm going to say that again. Everyone cannot see the vision before it is complete. Don't be sharing all that stuff with people. They can't see it. It looks like a skeleton with all the organs uncovered. That's a monster. It looked like a skeleton with all the organs exposed. They can't handle that. That's why God has to show certain people vision. And that's what he does. He shows Ezekiel step by step this process. And when the process is over, then we're going to see this mighty army. It's an army God's putting together. This is an army. But if you see it before it's completed, and I learned that the hard way, sharing things before I had completed it bring about much disappointment, and also it deflates you, and it causes you to see only what they see. Because when God shows it to you, like he says, he shows it to Ezekiel, and he shows it complete. Then he began to show to Ezekiel the process of it. Okay, brothers and sisters, my time is up. So I want you to stay tuned until tomorrow. We're going a little deeper in this, because it is resurrection season, and it is time for resurrection. God bless you. We will study with you on tomorrow.
For mobile giving, text the amount you wish to donate to 501-302-4242.
The Acts Church in North Little Rock is located at 1224 Franklin Street. Morning Glory begins at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Sunday school begins at 8:30 a.m. And for a powerful word, join us at 9:30 a.m. for our morning worship service. Bible study is each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. At our Conway location, Morning Glory begins at 10 a.m. Sunday school begins at 10:30 a.m. Worship service begins at 11:30 a.m. On Thursday, our Bible class begins at 6:30 p.m. For more information, go to actsministriesonline.org or give us a call at 501-329-2055.
Thank you for tuning in to the Acts Ministry Podcast. The Acts Church is located at 1423 Indian Street in Conway and 1224 Franklin Street in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Tune in each day to hear an inspiring word from Pastor Frank Stewart.
He's here. What's going on here? What's going on here? The Lord is here. Shall reign forevermore. you to help me clap your hands. The Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads. Lift up your heads. Come on, children, say from the top. Oh, he shall reign. Oh, shall reign. He shall reign. Oh, shall reign. Forevermore. Oh, shall reign. Oh, shall reign. Forevermore. Oh, shall reign. Oh, shall reign. Forevermore. Who is the King? Who is the King of glory? Come on, clap your hands. And the Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, lift up your heads. Come on, children, take it to the camp. He reigns, he reigns forever. Come on, say it. He reigns, he reigns, he reigns forever. He reigns forever. He reigns. Yes, he does. Forever. He reigns forever. He reigns. He reigns forever. He reigns forever. Oh, lift the King of glory. Once y'all clap your hands and help me with this one. Hey. The Lord strong and mighty. The Lord mighty in battle. The Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads. Lift up your heads. Come on back to us and say, He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns forever. Come on, alto. He reigns. Join in, Jesus reigns. Once you clap your hands, help me. He reigns. He reigns forever. Now catch on. He reigns forever. He reigns forever. He reigns. He reigns. Who is the King of glory? Come on, here. The Lord. The Lord mighty in battle. The Lord mighty in battle. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty. The Lord mighty in battle. The Lord